Welcome to the Create Something Awesome Today podcast, where it's all about educating and motivating creative pros and entrepreneurs from around the world with simple and easy to implement ideas. And of course, helping you create something awesome today. And now, welcome your host. He is the founder of Awesome Creator Academy, a YouTube educator, and the biggest Star Wars nerd you'll ever meet, Roberto Blake.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Create Something Awesome Today podcast. This is your host, Roberto Blake, helping you create something awesome today. Welcome back to the show. I know it's been a minute since we've done an episode of the podcast. We're going to be talking about YouTube Shorts today, but we're not going to be keeping it short. We're going to be doing ourselves a little bit of a YouTube long. I just want to thank you. And we have the audio version almost caught up on the podcast. There are over 60 episodes. I think this might be episode 70, in fact. So you want to make sure you check that out. We have those over on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcast, basically everywhere podcasts can be downloaded. But I also have a treat for you all. I'm going to bring in a special guest today. And this is somebody many of you, if you've been following me for a while, are familiar with. So let's go ahead and bring them in.
Here's this week's awesome guest.
Today we have Viper, the man about tech. Viper, welcome to the Create Something Awesome Today podcast.
Woo, baby, we are live. What is going on, Roberto? How you doing?
I'm doing good, Viper. How about you?
I am good, sir. Thank you for having me tonight. Appreciate you.
No, it's always my pleasure. So for the handful of people in my audience who don't necessarily know who you are, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Oh, my God. This is funny because I was asked the question a lot last year, and I have not been asked much this year. But what's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech. I also happen to be an executive producer over at a little company that some of y'all might be familiar with called vidIQ, YouTube education company. So I make tech content on YouTube, been doing it for 4 years now. At vidIQ, I host their Tube Talk podcast. I do channel audits and talk to your favorite creators and different things like that. So that's a little bit about who I am.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, you and I, we've been friends in the YouTube community for years. You're someone who's been a part of my community, supporting me. You were one of the first people to ever do a super chat on my channel whenever that feature came out. And we also have a lot of mutual friends, Travis MCP, who also works at vidIQ, as well as Jeff El Jefe, Shelly Saves, so many other wonderful people that we all know and love personally and everything like that. And John Prosser, Front Page Tech, just so many people, Technically T. So we have a lot of friends in common, and we've actually met in person multiple times at these different events, Vid Summit. So yeah, it's been amazing. It's been quite a journey for us, I would say.
I would have to agree, definitely. And it looks like we are probably going to meet again in person this year at VidCon, I believe.
Yeah, as long as I end up going to VidCon, I'm hoping to speak there and everything like that. We'll see what happens. But I spoke in 2018, and then we had like a snafu scheduling wise with something because they sold to Viacom and they had to fit all this new stuff in. So I was scheduled to speak in 2019. That didn't happen. I did the virtual version, I think, for 2020 and 2021 during the pandemic. So it'd be great. And I know that Jim Lauterbach would probably be very interested in having me back. So, it's something to think about.
Indeed, man. Indeed.
So I wanted to talk tonight about a couple of different things with YouTube specifically. And I wanted to just kind of get your opinion on this. Viper, what have people been saying around the water cooler when it comes to YouTube Shorts?
Oh, man. YouTube Short might be some of the most polarizing topics in the recent memory of being a YouTuber. People feel like they can get subscribers real fast with YouTube Shorts, and some people have. Some people, like myself, won't do them on their main channel. Some people, like Mr. Beast and Marquez, have made dedicated channels to do them. Some people do them on their main channel with their long form content. There's a whole bunch of different schools of thought when it comes to YouTube Shorts. Ultimately, I feel like what it really comes down to is what is best for your audience and your content strategy. and you just have to look at what you do and what your objective is on your individual channel, and then figure out if YouTube Shorts is going to be a good fit for you and your audience, and then go from there.
Yeah, to give those of you who may not be super familiar with YouTube Shorts a little bit primer on them, YouTube Shorts are similar to TikTok videos in the sense of when TikTok originally came out, TikTok was 60-second vertical videos. Most of the funnier or more effective ones tend to be about 15 seconds or so. And one of the big features with TikTok is they were letting you use popular music that you would normally hear on the radio and things like that without the typical copyright issues, that copyright nightmare that we usually associate with YouTube. But not me so much, because I use Epidemic Sound, link in the description of the podcast, both on the audio and the video side. But yeah, I use Epidemic Sound, and then I don't worry about that. And that's why I'm not having my own ghost producers make stuff for Zenbuster Music. But with YouTube Shorts, the idea was to give you a TikTok-like feature in YouTube and let it be a different and separate video format. They've even worked out some things with licensing music, their plans to expand that, I'm hearing. And so you can use some copyrighted music without problems on YouTube Shorts. And they have a decent library and selection for that. I'm sure they'll expand that, work out some deals on the back end. And on top of all of that, YouTube Shorts, much like TikTok, have this viral potential to get massive amounts of views. And so this just feels like it gives everybody an opportunity on YouTube again, like back in the old days where you could make short videos, short, goofy, funny videos with nothing but your smartphone. Back in old YouTube, when smartphones were more prominent, more readily available, with the invention of the iPhone coming to prominence, the Samsung Galaxy line coming to prominence. So in a way, it's old YouTube. YouTube Shorts in a way is old YouTube, even though it's a new feature. And it brings back that short, accessible, hey, I could blow up and be a viral video idea back. But the thing is, that's not reliable. It feels very random. The thing I don't like about YouTube Shorts, Viper, is I don't like the lack of predictability, and I don't like the fact that you don't really make any money doing them.
Yeah, I think that's like the biggest pain point with Shorts right now, as it relates to most creators, is that you don't really make much money with them, and their content is so short that they don't count for watch hours to get into YouTube monetization program. Although the way YouTube is doing it is that you don't necessarily have to be in their monetization program to make money off of Shorts. They have a whole entire short fund set aside for Shorts, depending on how many views you get.
Yeah, but to be honest, it's not. I mean, you go viral, you get 1 million views. You're lucky if you make $20.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With YouTube Shorts. TikTok is even worse.
Oh God. Well, let's not talk about TikTok.
Well, we will. We have to talk about it. But again, I understand it feels accessible, and I feel like, and it's not just for young people, but I feel both TikTok and YouTube Shorts, with very few exceptions, and there are some exceptions, and there's ways to do it, and there is an audience for everything. I feel like it's a young person's game. I feel like it was a play to try to harness Gen Z, because when TikTok came out, culturally, Gen Z, their culture, their music, their trends, their idols, all of that, BTS, K-pop, yay, all that stuff. It's dominates TikTok and culture, and it's just a different vibe. And it's not that it's exclusively the dominion of young people, but that's what dominates. Gen Z wanted their own space, and they have it, and it's mostly called TikTok. But the thing is, other platforms like YouTube and Instagram don't want to lose that upcoming market of young adults, and they want to harness it the way they had harnessed millennials. So who are now almost, millennials are turning like 40. I'll be 38 this year. So the 38, we're buying homes and everything like that. I haven't popped out any kids yet, but but that's what, millennials are adults now. We're not kids anymore. They want the next generation of young people that drive consumerism. And it's smart, but I don't think that culturally, I don't think that YouTube Shorts equals TikToks. I don't think that you win the Gen Z market just by making the same features, because I think that once they have their culture, it's set in stone.
Yeah, you can dictate other platform features all you want, but it is extremely difficult, hell, next to impossible to try to duplicate a platform culture. Although you blew my mind with something that you told me last year when YouTube made their controversial decision to remove the YouTube short or the dislike counter, excuse me. You said that YouTube did that to have platform parity with the TikToks and the other platforms in the world who did not have a dislike counter. And that kind of blew my mind at the time. And I'm like, YouTube is still the biggest platform out there, even right now. So for them to try to like level the playing field with other platforms, even though they are still the market leader,
but they do it all the time.
I'm sure. But when you told me that last year, I'm like, really? YouTube try to level the playing field with other platforms? But
you've seen the evidence, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We've seen the evidence, and we've seen it before. We see the evidence when they moved and they did the community tab. We saw when they did the community tab. We saw what that was like. We saw what they did YouTube stories. It's like, hello. So we had that. And they've been features and things from other platforms before multiple times. And the thing is, what they saw is when they had Shorts doesn't have like a public prominent dislike count. Neither does Instagram and neither does TikTok. You have to drill down to be able to try to find like how many dislikes something got on TikTok.
Yeah, and the other thing that YouTube is doing this year, they're really drilling down into live stream features. I mean, speaking of borrowing features
from for Twitch, they're taking all of Twitch's.
Right. They just implemented or borrowed Twitch's raid feature. And I know they're calling it redirect, but yeah, YouTube now has raid, so that's new.
So see what I mean when I keep saying things like it's like, guys, features or features that become utility and prove themselves become ubiquity in other platforms. I keep saying this, and people keep thinking that it's features that make platforms unique. It's culture that makes platforms unique. It's user bases, it's trends, it's the way that people behave. Because at the end of the day, all these platforms, when there's something that's a utility that they can't say is proprietary, they're just going to steal it. They always do. And that's how it is. And it makes sense. And why wouldn't you? I mean, and to be real with you, everybody copied YouTube. Everybody was doing everything but video. And then they all decided that they wanted a piece of YouTube's pie. Like Facebook, Facebook took video because of YouTube. LinkedIn decided video and live streaming because of YouTube. It became more of a focus on Instagram because of YouTube. Instagram was a photo sharing platform. And even with stories, it was like they were just taking that from Snapchat. They weren't going into video. When they decided to do IGTV, failure that was a direct play to compete with YouTube. And I mean, it is what it is.
But Roberto, it goes back to what you just said about culture. Again, you can copy all the features you want to copy, but you can't dictate that culture like TikTok. They just implemented a feature now where they're allowing for 10-minute videos.
That's a mistake.
I'm not going to TikTok to watch a 10-minute video. I'm not doing that. Like, at some point, you are what you are. And no matter how many features that you steal, I'm not going to go to TikTok to watch a 10-minute video. And if I want to watch short form content, I'm not really going to YouTube Shorts. I'm probably spending more time on TikTok watching shorter form content.
I will say that I don't really like being on TikTok that much. I'll do it every now and again, but I like watching stuff mindlessly at night when I'm trying to like fall asleep and scrolling through YouTube Shorts, because YouTube Shorts does have its own culture of how people make content for YouTube Shorts. It's not just regurgitated TikToks. I've loved some of the Reddit stuff that makes it into YouTube Shorts. I've also loved the way that some people from the anime community use YouTube Shorts and how they're giving me snippets of certain things. I also like that snippets of really saucy lines from like my favorite TV shows that I might have like forgot about, like show up and stuff like that. It's like makes me say, oh, what is that episode of Suits? Oh, what is that episode of Peaky Blinders? And just like some of the most savage moments from these shows. So I'm like, I just start scrolling that and see, oh, that was like, oh, that was a good line. Oh, well, that was like a good scene. It's like, oh, wow, I'm just going to go watch the episode now. So like, it makes me, YouTube Shorts makes me want to tune in like on Netflix and get like a very specific part of an episode of a very specific show just off of like one little like clip sometimes, you know, or it'll make me look up an interview. Sometimes there'll be these clips from people's podcast and then we go like, wait, what's the episode of that podcast? And what podcast is that?
Yeah, and the internet worked pretty fast too. Yeah, I mean, I'm amazed at how quick the Will Smith, Chris Rock thing became a sound on TikTok.
Oh my Lord! And how quickly it became a meme in every platform.
Oh yeah.
in every platform. And that our friend Annette from Coffee Talk says, I did a 3-minute TikTok and it's my best performing video so far, better than all of the short videos I put out since I've started about 3 weeks ago. Oh, that's pretty dope. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I like, and a board fan, Jared has a point. YouTube Shorts are great for people who like short form content but don't like TikTok. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm on YouTube already. That's
Yeah.
why. I mean, that's where my consumption happens. I'm already on YouTube. I go to TikTok when someone shares a TikTok with me in my iMessage. That's like when someone just texts me a TikTok and says, "Hey, look at this. This is funny." That's why I end up on TikTok. I don't usually go there that much on my own unless somebody, which is probably a lot of people, or at least a lot of people over 25 anyway. Like, so, it's a thing. But between YouTube and TikTok, since their monetization is based on these creator funds, it's you would think that it's the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, but actually it's just the poor get poorer.
Yeah, I will say one thing
And
for
in
YouTube
fact, the
Shorts,
rich
though.
get poorer. Even the rich get poorer with this. It's the rich get poorer, the poor get poorer, the middle class get poorer. Everyone gets poorer. You're poor. You're poor. Everybody's poor. Yeah, like that. That's how creator funds work, because creator funds really do work in a scarcity model of the more people that are participating, the less all of the everything is worth.
Yeah. I will say one thing for YouTube Shorts, though, because they're pushing it so hard, it is definitely a chance for smaller creators to blow up. I had a friend
Absolutely.
recently. I had a friend who had less than 1,000 subscribers in December. One of her YouTube shorts blew up to 60 million views, and now she has over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that happened over a 2-month period.
It does give you that old school feeling of anybody can blow up and be famous again. It
Yeah.
does give you back that aspect of YouTube's culture. But what I find is that it's very hard for people who get traction on shorts to get traction on non-shorts content.
Yeah, that's
I
the
think it's
one thing
great
I've
for
noticed. Yeah.
brand building. I think it's horrible for channel building, because I think viewer behavior doesn't translate from shorts to regular videos. I mean, and you've audited
Ooh.
enough channels to where I'm sure you've seen that. You and the
Yeah.
folks at vidIQ have been talking about YouTube shorts since the beginning. So you guys see a lot of stuff on that. You guys have a lot of conversations about it. I'm sure you guys have whole meetings just about YouTube shorts.
Yeah, you're right. The short blow up don't really translate to long form content. I
They
have
also
noticed
don't
that.
translate into money you can live off of for the most part.
No, but what they can do, depending on if you're a savvy creator, they can get you more eyes on you and far brand deals and different things like that. Because once you blow up and get those numbers, then you get noticed a little bit more.
Yeah, they can. I mean, I think shorts can be used and TikTok can be used to like blow up your Instagram. And then Instagram is where I think the real money is for brand deals. And I think people are sleeping on it. I think everyone is underestimating that you make more money on brand deals per everything proportionately. Make more money on brand deals than you do on Instagram than any other platform, in my opinion, even YouTube.
Mm.
And I'm talking just like effort to dollar ratio. I'm talking effort to dollar ratio. You make more. Like, I have 20,000 followers on Instagram. Dude, I've got brand deals from 2,000, 4,000, campaigns at 9,000. That's comparable to like YouTubers with 100,000 subscribers with 20,000 followers on not TikTok, on 20,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah, I
Okay,
remember.
you have to have bigger numbers on TikTok to do anywhere near that.
Oh, yeah.
Like Instagram for brand deals, if you get your niche right, is phenomenal.
Yeah, I remember,
People have no idea, they sleeping on it.
I remember talking to Super Snap about this, and he was talking about how he, like you said, he had brand deal for Instagram, and he just shows up, take a picture, and he's done. Like, yeah, that effort to dollar ratio it's real, it's legit.
Yeah, that effort to dollar. Like when people think about being a content creator, the idea and business concept of effort to dollar ratio is something no one talks about. You will not like. Am I not one of the only people you've ever heard use the phrase effort to dollar ratio?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that phrase before tonight.
But when you think about being a content creator, the words effort to dollar ratio, when you think about being a content creator, it's like, how much effort did I put in? How much money did I make? Effort to dollar ratio, baby. It's like I've talked to so many creators. They're like, wow, I put in all this effort, and the video that I put the least effort on got all these views and made
All the
so much
time.
more money, or blah, 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 blah. It's like, so it's very, from my standpoint, it's very important. Like, I know a lot of people, they don't like to think about the money. They want to think more about the impact. Like, I think about the money because the money is a irrefutable measurement of value. and it's I would rather be validated, to be honest with you. I'd rather be validated in terms of the dollars and knowing that like a brand respects me or that my content was valued by the advertisers more than like anything else, because I feel like those dollars are less fickle than relevancy and attention and status and clout. So it's like I would much rather play money games than status games, because you could, like, a good business relationship and a good income source and income stream and a good deal that you negotiated is a much more practical way and a less emotional way of validating yourself, and it's much more reliable than having these numbers that go up and down. And sure, like theoretically money is not the best way to validate yourself. I'm not saying it is. It's not the healthiest way to validate yourself, but if you're going to choose between two unhealthy things, I think that money is less fickle and ephemeral than dollars, and I think it's easier to not be emotional about it if you're using the money instead of status and clout, because I just feel like it's more reliable and less fickle, and you can measure it. It's something that can be more reliable.
Status and clout comes and goes so easily. It's so fluid. But if you have a system to make money on a consistent basis, that is definitely more stable than relying on status and clout.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you could have your growth. A lot of YouTubers that have made it, that have millions of subscribers, they're not growing anymore. Like whatever their subscribers count is, it's basically frozen in time because they're gaining and losing about the same amount. So they're just kind of like, this is where they are, but at least their money is either reliable or their money is growing. So like, I mean, because in that situation, how can you tie the yourself to the numbers and to the audience at that point? There's no more growth. And there is a plateau for YouTubers that get millions of subscribers. There's some people that's okay. You hit 3 million. That's where you are from now on. Congratulations. And it's great. Like, you got millions of subscribers, but it's got to hurt as someone who saw their numbers going up and growing to get to a place to where you don't.
Don't tell this to Mr. Beast, though. That man is about to hit 100 million.
Oh, yeah, exception that proves the rule, my friend. But speaking of, I mean, people don't understand. He was a small YouTuber almost as long as he's been big now. People would be like, are all up on like, Mr. Beast now, but it's like he become like big time until like 2017, 2018, something like that. He'd been in the game longer, like as a small YouTuber than he has as a big YouTuber. He spent more time at less than 1 million subscribers than he's been at over 1 million subscribers.
Like, I didn't even know it, but he's literally been on the platform for 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And he spent like, 5 or 6 of those as a small YouTuber. Like he was still a small YouTuber like 4 or 5 years ago or something like that. Yeah. Like 6 years ago, 6 years, I think in 2017 or something like that, he might have still been at like 10,000 or 50,000 or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's go back and attack the question at hand though tonight. Are YouTube Shorts really worth it? Yeah. It's like that. It's like,
effort to dollars? Hell no. Same thing for TikTok though. Same thing for TikTok. Effort to dollars? No. And again, it's not to say you can't make money on TikTok or Shorts. It'll be brand deals. But man, do you have to do the numbers? You have to do the numbers. Like it's not a thing. With YouTube, you could build a reputation to where you don't always have to do the numbers. With Instagram, you could build a reputation to not always have to do big numbers, and you can do all right. You could you could not do numbers, and you can still make a living on YouTube.
Yep.
You can not do numbers and still like do really well on Instagram. It could still be really good. And and on YouTube and Instagram, you got a better chance of selling stuff. But I'll tell you, the YouTube Shorts audience and the TikTok audience don't want to buy jack.
No,
they don't want to buy nothing. They don't want to buy nothing. I don't think they're all socialist, but maybe because they don't buy.
No, they're not. Dude, you're not watching 30 second videos to buy something. You're usually going to be briefly entertained and move on with your life.
Basically, and again, it's a younger audience, so it's not necessarily a buying demographic. I mean, it's not to say that young people are all broke and struggling, but it's like, well, when I was like in my 20s, I was broke and struggling.
It's just a different intent. So here's the thing. I think we talked about this before, but the short audience and the long form audience are two different sets of people entirely.
Yes.
When when you are talking about somebody watching a video for longer than a minute, we'll call them the long form audience.
Yes.
A lot of times they might be watching with the intent to get more information so they can make a purchasing decision, or they want more information or something like that. Chances are, if you're watching a YouTube short, you're just there to be entertained or learn something really quickly and then move on with your life. You're not there to gain information about buying something. You're not there to make a purchasing decision.
I can see it working.
You. And
yeah,
that's
what I can see it working is I can see if you like, I can see YouTube Shorts and TikTok promoting somebody's music and somebody's album, or somebody, stream it for free on Spotify, and then you get the royalties off of that and everything. Because again, I think it really is short attention span people, but also people that are about the freebies. I think it's that culture. YouTube, drastically different. Best buying demographic in the market, as far as I'm concerned, are YouTube, podcast, people who watch YouTube, podcast, and long live streams on Twitch. Those are buyers, in my opinion, and from my experience. But speaking of buyers, thank you, JT Coin Rings, with the $1.99 super chat. Hello, Roberto and guests. Good to be in the live. Good to have you in the live. And we do thank everyone who joins the live experience and everybody who donates super chats. That really does help out dramatically here on the podcast. Whenever you guys do send in those super chats, it is greatly appreciated because we monetized over here. We'll probably make more money on a stream that gets 1,000 views than anybody will get from 100,000 views on TikTok or YouTube Shorts.
And that's the truth. Also, shout out to the 41 of y'all watching the live stream tonight. Appreciate all y'all being here. This is a kind of late hour, but we appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Absolutely. One thing I will say is I think that if you are part of like BookTube and BookTok, that you can push and you can promote books. I do think that that's a cultural thing. I think music and books you can absolutely push and promote on YouTube Shorts and TikTok. I also think it does work for awareness around video games and movies. And I would also say things in sports. So there are some specific things, but again, I feel it's more promo. I don't feel like it's direct sales the way that like a YouTube product review is direct sales. Yeah, right. I feel like it's more promo and brand awareness. And I think that that can translate to dollars in a different way. So it's not that I think that there's no monetary value to TikTok or YouTube Shorts. I just think it's much more roundabout than a regular YouTube video or even like a live stream. Or a podcast.
And here's the thing, like I think every creator that is considering doing shorts on their YouTube channel needs to think about, does it fit in? Like I said earlier, does it make sense for your content strategy? Does it make sense for your audience? Is it a topic or something that can be better served as a YouTube short? Because as you said, Roberto, I've audited countless numbers of channels by now, and sometimes I go to these channels and I'm looking at them. They do long form videos, and then they have a bunch of short sprinkled all with their content. I'm like, I don't know if this makes a lot of sense, but
I don't think for most YouTube channels it makes sense to mix and match. I think for some it could. I think for some entertainment channels, I think for some purely entertainment channels, it can mix and match. But I don't think for most. I mean, some education channels can do it. The only education channels that I've seen do it really well are The Future and also Ali Abdaal. Ali Abdaal doesn't do it very often. The Future almost went all in on shorts, but I don't think they're being rewarded in the same way they used to be for it. I don't think YouTube Shorts is treating them right. Something is up. It's not treating them right the way it used to, because it used to give them so many views, but it's not being consistent with that. Their long form videos were doing it before that. And I really feel like their long form whiteboard lecture education was really the key. And I think if they go back to that, they'll be getting a ton of views off of that because it's so valuable and with such unique value content. It was like, oh, I don't have to pay for a college course now because I'll just go to Chris Do in the future. And that's so good. But let's take this. This comment here, and then these two super chats, and I'll let you say what you were going to say there. So Michael Pepper Tech, long form content seems to be more information, learning. Short form is more entertainment for quick tips. Couldn't agree more. Thank you to that nerd, Chris, for the $20 super chat, even though you don't have a comment there, but we always happy to see you in the stream.
Oh, he said that's 1 million TikTok views right there. That's what he said.
Oh, that's why he did. That makes sense. And then we got Elliot, family of 7, coming
Elliot,
here clutch with the $10. I always enjoy when you have Viper here. Thank you for the gems. No, thank you for the super chats, and thank you, Viper, for being on. But you were saying?
Yeah, I was saying that, I feel like YouTube Shorts is like playing the lottery for a lot of creators.
Yes.
They want to try to do them to try to blow up or go viral or do something like that. I don't know if they do it with the intent of committing to shorts long term. I was just doing a channel audit earlier today on Clubhouse, and there was a channel I was talking to, and they had a lot of YouTube Shorts. And when I searched by their most popular content, it was the YouTube Shorts that were getting them the bulk of their views. And I'm like, listen, I'm looking at your most popular videos, and most of them are YouTube Shorts. So maybe you might want to consider doing more YouTube Shorts, since that's where the majority of your views are coming from. So in that type of situation, I would, if you've done a few shorts and they do get traction for you, I would recommend staying with it and seeing what you can do.
I'd lean into it. But the thing is, if that's the case, it's hard if you were trying to win on long form, then you did shorts, and then you did, and see, that's where, and again, I love Chris Do in the future, and we've been good friends since back when he had 30,000 subscribers, him and Jose Caballero, and back when they were branded as the school instead of the future. And so I've been there throughout their whole journey. We've talked a lot about YouTube over the years. And the thing that I feel is that there is a uniqueness to content. If you're doing well, it's usually that you're doing something that there is an audience for. And also you're bringing something to the table that audience cannot get anywhere else. And that makes a huge difference. And I think that's what gets someone to 1 million subscribers. And the future and Christo, I think they got to 1 million without even doing shorts, because shorts was new. But they're at 2 million now. And I think a lot of that is shorts as a result. But the issue is, I don't feel like they're getting the mileage out of shorts that they used to. And I don't necessarily know that there was some massive change on the YouTube algorithm side, but I did see the change in the way they were approaching their content. And they were doing more shorts and doing it very aggressively. But what built the foundation of their channel, what their audience originally came for, was the extremely well-produced long-form content that they could not get anywhere else, because it was done lecture style, even with people in an audience. And it was basically like getting to be part of a college course masterclass for free. And that was the unique content. Now it's great. The shorts have these viral, snappy, tell me how to charge clients. Oh, I like seeing this, pitch, or I like seeing this role play on sales. The sales role play, I think they should do sales role play YouTube shorts of sales role play and salesmanship like once or twice a week. And I think that they should do the whiteboard lecture videos once a week. And then I think that would kill it for them. And then they sprinkle 8 to 12 minute videos in between that are single serving lessons or hot takes from Chris, 4-minute hot takes where he goes in on something, and it's like gold. And that would I'd probably actually talk to them about that, because I think that would be gold for them. Because I think when you're trying to do education content, I don't think YouTube Shorts, outside of the quickest explainer video ever, or a 60-second book review or book summary, or like 5 tips in 60 seconds or less, or 6 tips in 60 seconds. That's cute, that's clever, and that works. Or something like sales role play. But it's like, when you want to be educated, like to some extent, you may not be tuning into a 3-hour video, but it's nice if you get a 45-minute or 1-hour lecture that is, oh, wow, that makes you say, oh, wow, I learned more in this 1 hour than I did in a whole semester of college.
Yeah, some things have so much nuance that it is literally impossible to get that down in a minute or less video.
Yeah, there's just some things. And the thing is, it can be a way to make education entertaining. I think that works sometimes. But we got Carrot Juice Podcast. Love you coming in clutch. 1999 super chat. See, we already made more than anyone will make off of TikTok for 1 million views or YouTube Shorts for 1 million views already in the course of this show. And thank you, everybody, for pulling that off. Thank you, everyone, for pulling off and making a point. Long form for the win. But you're so glad to see you back with a much-needed episode. Always learn something tangible from these. Your perspective on creating content has helped me immensely. Appreciate you, Roberto. Positive vibes. Thank you. I couldn't ask for a better compliment than that.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right. Stick with Roberto. You'll learn something. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, shorts are great for getting views and subs, but I don't think that it creates the same level of loyalty for when you're doing something outside of shorts. If they sign up for shorts, then they about them shorts. Remember with John Prosser, when I first mentored him as a friend on some things when he was struggling as a small YouTuber many, many years ago. Back around the iPhone 10 launch. That takes us way back. That's back in the day. Ooh. And you remember the thing I said was, it's dude, they signed up for Front Page Tech and you're doing these 3 or 4 different other things instead of the funny show, your best flagship performing thing. Just do Front Page Tech. Brand everything is Front Page Tech. Do Front Page Tech. Do what's working. It's I told him, hey, do me a favor, commit to this for 3-6 months, and let's see some numbers, man. Just commit for 3 or 6 months. Just trust me, just 3 months. And this he's does it for 2 or 3 weeks and says, well, views already tripled.
Oh,
it's
that's the thing though, right?
Experiment over. We're just doing it. We're scrapping everything else.
Did nobody comment that you got 90,000 views and 190 subs from doing the shorts, and that's good. But me and Roberto were talking about earlier, will that convert over to when you make longer videos? Now, if you're a shorts only channel, then by all means, do what you got to do. But if you have long form content on your channel as well, you might pile up a bunch of stuff from doing YouTube short, but will they watch your other long form videos? And chances are they won't.
Yeah, it's rough, or at least not in the same numbers, or not even what feels appropriate or proportional. I mean, one of my favorite YouTube Shorts creator, and he's doing it right, and he's doing YouTube Shorts. He's posting it to Instagram Reels. He's posting it to Facebook Reels as well, and TikTok. And he started from TikTok during the pandemic. It's Max the Meat Guy. Max the Meat Guy is the best, y'all. He's the best.
Oh, the Meat Guy again. I've heard about the Meat Guy.
Yeah, I have to have Max the Meat Guy on the show sometime to give all the counter arguments in favor. Because look, I'm not against short form content. There's some great content that is suited to it, and the virality that shorts, reels, and TikTok all provide is powerful. And it also is just nice to see numbers sometimes. I'll be real with y'all. I've been posting Instagram Reels, Viper. I'm posting some short form stuff I've been making in the studio downstairs to Reels, a highlights channel where we're also going to do clips from the podcast. So the thing is, we are going to mix 5-minute or less videos, 3 to 5 minute videos with YouTube Shorts on the Roberto Blake highlights channel. So we're going to take stuff from the podcast, cut it down to 3 or 5 minute segments, but we're also going to do 30, 60 second YouTube Shorts in general on that thing, and we'll mix and match there. And we're going to run some tests over there. It's going to work out however it works out. So we'll probably do 100 videos this year that way. But we'll mix and match. Maybe there'll be 50 shorts, maybe there'll be 50 clips. We'll see. But the thing is, I am reluctant to do that sort of thing. We tried doing clips here on the podcast channel, and it worked out okay. But I feel what I want to do is I want to give it the clips and the highlights their own thing. So that's what I came up with, is a highlights channel, so I could do both types of short form content. Okay, cool. We could keep the podcast channel. A lot of people are doing clips channels, and it's working out really well for them. It's another channel to monetize too. But here's the thing. The virality or the boosting, and Instagram is doing really good with Reels. My Reels outperform the highlights channel for YouTube Shorts, and my Reels outperform TikTok, but I don't have a lot of followers on TikTok. So I think over time, maybe it goes differently there, or maybe one of them goes viral for some weird reason, something, we'll see. But what's consistent? See, the thing is, algorithm wise, Instagram Reels is more consistent on its performance, from my experience, than YouTube Shorts and TikTok, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Instagram Reels, and lately, with what they've been doing with their bonuses and their stuff, Instagram Reels and Facebook have been paying better, Viper.
Oh yeah,
They've been
I've heard.
paying.
I have heard.
Ooh, the
Here's my
bag is
here's my
real.
question about Instagram Reels though.
Hmm.
Okay, so you can amass followers on TikTok. You can amass followers with YouTube Short, but can you amass followers with Instagram
Yes.
Reel? Yes.
Yes. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes. And remember what I said about Instagram? The brand deals money, Viper. So on
Right.
top of the fact the way they're paying creators with their stuff, because they're doing these bonuses, they pay better. And the sponsors are legit because Instagram is a buying platform. Instagram is consumerism. Instagram is, ooh, where you get that outfit? I'm gonna go buy it. That's like it's consumerism.
Yeah.
Like Instagram is, oh, where you get that bookshelf? I want oh, that mahogany standing desk, bet I'm getting that. Like it's a whole thing. And Instagram, it knows what I'm looking at in Amazon. It knows. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing it's like tempting me. It's like sitting out here tempting me. It's like you're gonna seduce me. It's like I don't got enough camera gear already, man. Jesus. So like it's real. It's real. Instagram very much is tied to our consumerism, our FOMO, and it works. So yeah, brand deals come through clutch on that. So there's a real substance to the idea that from a monetary standpoint, yes, if you're going to make that type of content, post it in all three places with no watermark. Absolutely, you should be doing that.
Yeah.
But effort dollar ratios, like effort to dollar ratios, I'm telling you, I feel like the money is really in YouTube long form, like medium to long form content, and in Instagram, especially in lifestyle content. And lifestyle can be a lot of things. You could have tech lifestyle. I have tech lifestyle content. Sarah Dici has tech lifestyle content. Crystal Laura does. Like, you can combine. You can be a tech content creator, but do lifestyle and tech, and that could be also like aesthetic. And it can also, with the reels, you can also make it funny. Like Mr. Who's the Boss does some hilarious short form tech content.
Ethan does tech too. Amazing.
Issa does tech, does that, and it's hilarious. Atola Visuals, Issa does tech, and Mr. Who's the Boss, killing it.
But again, it all comes down to what your objective is, not the creator, and your content strategy, and if it makes sense for your audience. Because it might not make sense for your audience, but you as a creator, you have to come to that determination. You can do short form content, but does it make sense for your content strategy and your audience?
Yep. Sinalv Craft says, I'm glad you brought up that point. My Instagram and TikTok reels are performing better. My Instagram reels pay much better, hands down.
Yeah, Instagram. It's funny though, because when IGTV first came out, one of the biggest criticisms of IGTV was there was no monetization program for creators. So Instagram hurried up and figured it out with IG Reels, and now, like you said, their creators are making good money with Reels. But when IGTV first came out, Instagram got lit up. They got lit up.
Oh, they got ate up for it. I was sitting there. I was hitting them up on it. I was like, I was leaning in on that, dude. Like, I was like, oh, no.
All right. That nerd Chris wants us to define lifestyle content.
So there's a lot of ways people interpret lifestyle content. To be honest, a lot of people think of it purely in the context of vlogging or family niche or things like that. But lifestyle is whatever your lifestyle could be. Like, and the way that a primary example is, and because you can combine it into anything. Primary example would be you could look at the way that I do my Instagram, and the thing is, it's technically lifestyle, but what is my sub niche of lifestyle is I'm showing you the lifestyle of working from home. Like, that's what a lot of my like stuff is just the lifestyle of working from home, and it's the behind the scenes of that. And so what does that look like? That looks like bookcase tours, office tours, aesthetics and stuff like that. It's also behind the scenes stuff. It's also vlog like content about what my experiences are, what my day is, what I'm going through, those type of things. It's also about the tech I use day to day. It's about me unboxing things. It is because that's my lifestyle. My lifestyle revolves around the fact that, hey, I work from home. I'm a new homeowner. I'm doing a renovation in my basement. I'm building my ultimate art studio. Hey, I'm a creative entrepreneur. I'm an artist. So what does a day in my life look like? Basically, you could take lifestyle content and say, what does a day in your life look like and who identifies with you? And the people who identify with me are creators, artists, entrepreneurs, tech enthusiasts, photographers, and creative professionals, artsy people. Those are the people who would identify with my lifestyle. The way I live my life would be similar to the way they live their life. So again, lifestyle content is about here's what a day in your life looks like.
Yep. And mine obviously will be tech.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Day in Viper's life. The brands associated with a Day in Viper's life are going to be Starbucks, going to be Sony coming in clutch with those headphones, Apple and Apple products, because you is the captain of Team Apple, of course. You know, podcasting. So you got some Rode and you got some Shure, you got some audio brands in there. You also have a workout lifestyle and everything like that. So it's about your workout gear. Like, what do you wear? Under Armour or
usually?
Yeah, Under Armour, some Nike, pretty sure. So like, you know, it's like some Under Armour and Nike. But you know what? There's other brands that could come through. Brands they can come through. Somebody could hook you up with like Vessi could hook you up with some, you know, sneakers, and that would be a thing. Yeah. Athletic Greens could hook you up. That would be a brand that could sponsor you.
Yeah, but like Roberto said, I mean, obviously you're going to cater it to your lifestyle because, I mean, it's your lifestyle. I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to fake a lifestyle that you don't have. I mean, some people do it, but
yeah. Catherine Manning's great. Like Catherine Manning is doing some great stuff with her content.
Yep.
You know, you're also a nerd like me. You have like I have all mine is like Marvel, anime, Star Wars. You have the Legos, the Batman, Yep.
Got the Lego right back there, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Right back there, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you know, me, I got the like.
I see that Stormtrooper helmet, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. So you can, you know, you could, there's all kinds of ways to monetize these things. My issue is sometimes people take monetizing every aspect of their life too far.
Yeah. And that's the one thing that I think more
people think I do that. Realize.
Yeah, you don't have to monetize everything. Every aspect of your life does not need to be or should not be monetized. Some things you should have a private sector of your life that is just for you and not for the internet.
Yes. You should exist outside of the internet. Like, you know, I don't necessarily like we live too much in a society that feels like Pixar it didn't happen, Poster it didn't happen. I don't necessarily like that because I think, you know, I think it ultimately just means you don't have any boundaries anymore and you don't have anything for yourself. And there's no intimacy for anybody in your life because the access to you, there's no special access to you, right? There's like, oh, literally living with you or being your friend in real life is no different than following you on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube. There's no boundaries. There's no, what's the value of being intimate with you in any way, shape, or form at that point? If you don't have any boundaries, what's sacred? What's special? What's private?
Yep.
And there's too many people who grew up on the internet. There's too many people who grew up on the internet and therefore don't have any boundaries.
True story. My favorite example of this is I just seen. Mm-hmm. For 2 years, without anybody on the internet knowing, she trained in jiu-jitsu. 2 years, we didn't even know until she told us like one day out of the blue. Like Roberto said, you got to set those boundaries. Everybody doesn't need to know everything about what you're doing. They don't.
Yeah. That's where it's like I'm not in love with it. I understand why people do it. I understand that to not do it could make people insecure. I hate this culture of we made it Instagram official. I hate that. Making Instagram official is a thing. I hate that because I'm like, like
overboard.
That, like, I feel like there's an added layer of pressure or intrusion into a relationship when you decide to make it the internet's business.
Ooh, ain't that the truth? And if it gets ugly, the last thing you need is your relationship online.
Now again, like, and somebody's bringing this up. Like, I understand that some people get insecure and like, why don't you want me on your Instagram? It's like, do you want to be out there, you know, playing around? Is it like, are you not committed? It's like, I understand how some people can feel that way. I just feel like that's stupid sometimes because it's like, I'm like, do you, how much, like, because I could flip it the other way. Are you with me for the attention that you'll get from my people?
Mm, mm, mm. Asking a hard question now.
That's
Yeah,
like, that's a thing. I mean, we have
that
to,
is
as
true.
influencers, we got to like worry about that. Like, do people have good intentions? Like out here, it's bad enough to have to worry about it from a money standpoint. like, but
Yeah.
you have to worry about it from a career or clout standpoint too. And the thing is, I like, I don't think I'm gonna want when I don't think I'm gonna want my kids on social media. I think posting on a private thing for the family members and stuff like that is one thing.
Yeah.
But like for them to have easier access to that. But I don't want the entire world or the internet to have access to my kids when I have kids.
You know what? This conversation is kind of interesting because I remember talking to you, I think a year or two ago, about if you ever got or when you are talking to girls or whatever, and you don't like telling females like about what you do because you told me that then you would wonder if they're after you for your clout or for clout or whatever and things like that. Or are they just talking to you because you're Roberto Blake? So I just thought that was interesting when we had that conversation a while ago.
It's like because it's not just me that this happens to. This happens to a
Oh yeah.
lot of people
Oh
we
wow.
know, like
Absolutely.
all the time. I've heard like some horror stories. There's some stalker stories
Oh my goodness.
for real.
Ooh.
Like there's some of that. That's always fun. And yeah, it's this really weird thing, and it's like, and people think that you have to be mega famous to worry about this. It's like no, you do not,
Mm.
because to a regular average civilian, as we like to call them, to a civilian, 10,000 people is a lot of people.
Mhm.
And in reality it is, because statistically most people never get that. Like, like the top 10% get 10,000 followers on any platform. That's a real thing. Most people do not. 90% of humans will never have 10,000 followers on any platform. So you do think about it. You do have to, and you can't just think about it in the back of your head either. You have to kind of think about it, have a plan for it, and have a like conversation. And then also, do you really want, because in my case, if you know what I do and you know that I'm online and you're looking me up like that, it's also really easy to then find out how much money I make. And it's because I'm transparent about that stuff to teach people, to educate people. I was one of the early people to doing that, to saying, here's exactly how much I make and how I make it. That's not a great thing in terms of meeting new people, for them to just immediately be able to jump the line
Yeah.
to that, especially when it's not a small amount of money, when it's in the six-figure range. It's not, or in the multiples of that. It's not fun, or God forbid, if you're someone who makes seven figures, it's not fun to immediately have people, because they can't help treating you differently.
Yep.
Most people, if they're not making that kind of money, they can't help treating you differently, looking at you differently, and you can immediately tell. And it immediately kind of takes the fun out of everything to know that they're not just treating you how they would treat you in response to how you're behaving or what you like or how you present and everything like that, that they're just looking at you different, either because of the money or the status.
True story. Yep. You never know what people's intentions are, and if they have all that information on you, then you really don't know where they're coming from, and it just makes things that much harder.
Yeah. Yeah. I find with other content creators, it's less of a problem,
Yeah,
because like
they
we don't,
understand. Yeah.
most content creators, even smaller content creators, do not treat you differently. Some do, and some fanboy and fangirl, but a lot of them, like, they're much more understanding about everything. You don't have
Yep.
to explain it to them a lot of the times. It's a little easier sometimes, I find, with content creators who have at least maybe reached like, 5, 10,000 in YouTube or something like that. Or, more than that, if it's like TikTok or something like that, they have a more realistic expectation of, it's not to say that it's not special. It's that they don't treat you with the same level of awe as somebody that's a civilian does.
Yep. And sometimes it's easier to socialize and be surrounded by the like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's having to disappear for a year. Wow.
Sometimes, I mean, you can do YouTube for a long time, but the thing is, there's like, there's content that there's a total addressable market for, meaning like, there's not, I'll give you a primary example. Viper. The iPhone is basically for everybody, right?
Yep.
more or less. As long as you got a certain amount of money, like you can get the lowest entry iPhone for about what a smartphone is, right? The total addressable market, or the total number of people that could buy the Mac Studio, is like different than the market for the iPhone, right? Even though Apple makes the product,
Right.
there is a much smaller, it'd be like a tenth or less people, like it'd be less, maybe it's like only 1 out of 50 of the people who would buy the iPhone could probably buy the Mac Studio.
Yep.
And probably out of that group, like 1 out of 20 of those 1 out of 50, the Studio Display.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's not a market for every type of content that's bigger, as big as, there's a market for every type of content, but there's not a large market for every type of content.
Right.
So it's like, so it's really hard sometimes, because again, I get everybody who has less than 1,000 subscribers that's struggling. I get it. And I've started new channels before. I get it. It's rough. I mean, the podcast, at one point, this podcast had less than 1,000. At one point, this podcast wasn't monetized. So I do get it. I do understand. The issue is that, and this is why, at least with YouTube Shorts, it's giving people an alternative. So for people who said, I've tried everything, YouTube Shorts might give them some validation that there's an audience for them.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, YouTube Shorts is a lot like playing the lottery these days. When they first started Shorts, I think over a year ago, it's a lot better because you had a lot less competition, but now everybody's doing it. So your chance for blowing up is a lot less than what it was a year ago, but there's still a good chance. I mean, you have a much better chance of blowing up with Shorts as opposed to making longer videos on YouTube.
The views don't reflect it yet, dude, but I feel like my better content is podcast and live streaming. I think I'm a better live streamer, podcaster, and even probably now, finally, a better interviewer and even a better public speaker. You've seen me speaking on stages before plenty of times. I think I'm better at those things than I am at my regular YouTube content. Ironically, my regular YouTube content kind of made me and made those other things work. But it's like, I feel that people who do give my live streams, my podcast, and if they ever see me in an event, they feel like that content, they like that content better than all my other content. Like, and that's what they tell me.
Ooh, you are punching me in the gut with that one.
Yeah. Ali Abdal has videos documenting his journey to $1 million and also has publicly stated he's looking for a wife. I can imagine those conversations will be kind of a tricky at best. Well, he still is single, so it's like he still is single despite that. So, that is the thing.
Yeah, it's funny that you talk about your live streams and your podcast being your more preferred content, because I've got multiple comments from people about how they like my live streams and they might like my podcast, and they feel like I should like really go deeper into that stuff as far as again doing regular video. But I'm just like, man, look, I prefer to do just regular video because I'm like you. The regular videos are what got me into the faces of the people that I live stream and podcasting with. So I don't just want to abandon making regular videos.
No, I don't think you should abandon it, but I do think you should do more of the podcast.
Yeah.
Like I know you're not going to, but it's like, if you were going to podcast every day in April, I'd be like, yeah.
That would be it. Now that would actually be doable. I just need to find like 30 people to do it. But
I think you could do it. I think you can do it. I think also bring back some guests and everything, return guests. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard, Viper. You got me, you got T, you got Prosser right off the bat. I'm sure Jenna will come through. I'm sure Shelly will come through. Like, you have coffee talk people. Like, I'm sure you can get, I'm sure you can get Austin Evans. I'm sure you can get Austin Evans. I'm sure you can get Benji Travis. I'm sure you can get Sean Cannell. I'm sure you can get D Nimmin. It's like, I honestly believe even last minute that you can get 30 guests, Viper.
You might be right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, homie. I'm pretty sure you could do it. It's like, hey, I'll come through twice. I'll spin the block. I'll spin the block. So yeah. So like, I mean, I think you could do it. No pressure, because it'd start tomorrow.
Right.
I mean, you could start tomorrow. I'll come through tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow Friday Night Vibe, so I'll be streaming tomorrow anyway.
Okay, bet. You can still do the podcast though.
I'm not committing to anything.
You don't have to commit. I'm just saying, maybe you do a pod every day in
You gotta
April.
be careful because you are supposed to be doing it Thursday. I'm gonna be looking at you, man.
Don't be telling nobody.
You told him already.
Don't be telling nobody because it was still supposed to be a maybe. Like, right? But but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see if I can pull it off. Like, I mean, I'm inspired by some people. I've been watching a lot of like Omni. He's a commentator. He's doing really well. He's one of my favorite commentary channels and everything like that. He's one of the only like successful Black commentators actually. And I've been watching, obviously I've been watching Philip DeFranco for years. It's like, so I've been watching a lot of people who do daily or near daily content, and I'm always impressed with it. PewDiePie does about daily content right now. It has been for years. Like, so people who can do, I used to be daily. I used to have a way to do day. And you know what? I could do it. It's literally just a matter of grinding through the bloody edits. And the fact that my content's longer now than it used to be back in the day. Back in the day, my videos were less than 10 minutes. Now, struggle to keep them under 20. Like, struggle is real. But yeah, I mean, you're a great podcaster, Viper. You're a fantastic podcaster. Hell, you got more episodes of your podcast than I do of mine. So yeah, that's a whole thing. Cinevolve Craft says, I love all your content, but the lives are my favorite. The first live of yours was a rant in 2015 with Groot sitting beside you. Yeah, Groot is more on the shelf. Baby Groot is on the shelf in my bedroom instead of on the bookcase now, because I have another shelf in my room with like a lot of my vinyl pop figures, because now I have more space. I've got some stuff moved down to the studio in the basement. So it's like now I have all this space. Like, so some of the old set and prop stuff, some people miss it, but it's like, it's not that I got rid of any of this stuff. It's just that it's now more spread out. It's like,
wait, what were you, damn, man, what were you and Groot talking about 7 years ago? What were y'all talking about?
I have no idea.
Love it. Love it.
I have no idea, dude. I've done like over 1,500 videos on the main channel. Not all of them are still up, but like over 1,000 of them are still up though. And I've done over 100 videos on the music channel now. We've got like 70 episodes of the podcast.
How's the music channel doing for you?
It's going and it's doing well. Still not monetized. The rolling 365 days thing, and it's now like a little over a year old. So we're kind of like halfway to monetization, where we've met the subscriber requirements a long time ago. Time wise, we still need 2,000 hours of watch time. We have lifetime more watch time. We just don't have it in a 365-day period. The secret, though, I've realized is it's just going to come down to making more compilations. It's going to be more, and it's all of our original music. It's all Zenbuster original music, but it's going to, in fact, we could actually play some for y'all. But yeah, it's going to basically come down to doing more of the compilations. Because what I have to do and what could work is if we have mixtapes, if we have like 2 to 3 hour mixtapes, which is basically either a 30-minute to an hour loop of music selection, but then looped 3 times with the same like animation or background or whatever. And we run that. Those perform really well and they rack up hours. Same thing, but the best performers are the 10-hour compilations, which is basically an hour on loop 10 times. So
right. I remember, I think it was like 3 years ago, they were talking about your rant in the chat. I remember a rant that you did when you were I think you were in the back of Uber and you were ranting about something. I don't remember what it was. But you were live in the back of Uber ranting about something.
I don't remember. I know it was in New York for sure. It had to be.
Yep, I think it was. Yep.
Yeah, but I don't remember.
So, what camera are you using tonight, sir?
This is still the A6600. It's got the 35 millimeter on it, though.
Okay.
35 millimeter G Master. I'm all about that G Master glass.
Right, G Master glass is legit.
I'm all G Master glass. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I've got 2 A7 Mark IVs. Right now, they're downstairs. and the main camera is still the A7S III. When I start doing interviews this summer, like when we go, like if I go to VidCon and I do any interviews, or if I go to Vid Summit, do interviews, I don't know if I'll bring everything to VidCon, to be honest with you. It depends. If I'm speaking, I'll bring everything. But I even ordered the new Aperture 60X. It's a smaller light, but it's pretty powerful because I wanted something portable and powerful enough to where if I need more than whatever light is in the area to do like an interview properly, I can actually have like a light source, or if I have to film in the hotel room, I can have a proper light.
Interesting.
Instead of mounting, I mean, I could mount one of these small little lights on top of it, but I'm like, no, I want a light. I want an actual light.
Hey, got to be lit properly for sure.
Yeah.
Nerd Quentin's acting at the 874 good for video stuff. You tell me. I'm live streaming on it right now.
Oh, it's fantastic. The autofocus is on point. It's like, it's all the things.
It is an amazing camera.
Yeah. Yep. In the basement, there's a completely different set for the Creator Gear Guide channel now. So I'm starting that back up again this summer, but it's like going to be more of a once a week thing, but we're going to be doing batch recording for it. So hopefully that works out and then we're able to get that monetized. We have the subscribers for it. We just need content, and that then turns to watch time.
Gotcha. Hey, or TV watch. I know you probably don't watch a lot of TV, but I know you keep up with some of the Disney Plus stuff. Have you watched Moon Knight yet? Or are you planning?
No, that's on deck tonight after I get after this podcast episode, and then after I get tonight's video out, which is already edited. It just needs a thumbnail and the optimization, so it'll be out before midnight. It'll be out before deadline. So I'll roll that out tonight. Next 30 minutes or so, I'll roll that out tonight, and then I'll watch like first episode of Moonlight as I fall asleep, and that'll be that.
Cool.
Yep. But yeah, with that, we are gonna Viper. Do you have any last words for the audience who is listening to the audio version of the podcast? Because we're about to go into after show mode, which is for the live viewers only. So we're about to do that here. But you have anything else you want to say to the audio listeners out in podcast land?
Yeah. So I know if you're listening to this podcast right now, you're probably trying to figure out how to grow on YouTube. Maybe you hit a wall, or maybe you just don't know where to go next. So what I would tell you is just don't give up. Just keep fighting, keep going, because you never know when your moment will come. That is the beautiful thing about YouTube. You can like go weeks on end, month on end without making any traction, and then all of a sudden, traction just comes. So don't give up. Just keep listening to Roberto and watch other creators who are giving YouTube education out, and just keep grinding on your channel, and good things will come. So that's my last bit of advice.
Amen, brother. All right, so let's go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and move into the after show. Everybody stay awesome on the audio side. It's the after show.
Thank you for listening to the Create Something Awesome Today podcast. Hungry for more creative and practical ideas? Why not visit createsomethingawesometoday.com and access all resources and links mentioned in today's show, as well as special bonus content that Roberto regularly crafts for you. Now, go create something awesome today. createsomethingawesometoday.com.
All right, your podcast intro and outro. How did you create? How did you get that?
Music
done?
Radio Creative is responsible for the audio branding for my podcast.
Now, what is that, like a company, or is that a?
Oh yeah, it's a company. It's my friend Mike and Isabel Russell's company over in the UK, and it's very affordable. I highly recommend it.
Cool. Okay.
Indeed. So yeah, that's how I got mine done. Like in theory, Travis could do this for people if he wanted to make some extra coin.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. But yeah, we're in the after show. We're in the after show, and yeah, it's cool that I don't have to do that in post. It's all that. It's like, yeah, that reduces the editing dramatically.
Yep.
Like,
go in there, boom, that's it.
Mm-hmm. We do that for the beginning. We do that for that. Like, we got it. It's like, and that's what the damn soundboard is for. See, it's like this I made it to where the podcast could be done consistently. The podcast, if I wanted to, could be daily content. At one point, it might be. At one point, the podcast might be the easiest way to do daily content, to be real with y'all.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if you have topics every day. I mean, yeah, podcasting daily. I mean, hell, there are podcasts that happen daily.
The thing is, I'm subscribed to so many newsletters, and I can just look at Twitter, and I could just like find topics every day. It's not that.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure you could definitely.
Yep. And then I just make the thumbnails in Canva at this point just to make them fast.
Okay.
For the podcast, I mean, because I do Photoshop for the main channel, but it's like that takes a while. It's like Canva. It's just like I just go, I can just do it really easy. It's still quality. It's still good. Mostly the way we do my thumbnails is we focus on the photography now more than anything, and that's what really like makes them all work.
Yeah, it's amazing how good photography can make a thumbnail that much easier.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. It's like we have like 200 different poses of me, so it's
Roberto, play photo shoot.
Yeah, no, that's what we do, and that's one of the other things we set up with the basement. I mean, and I don't know if you saw the thumbnail for tonight, but it's like it makes it unique. It makes it to where it's like that's a thumbnail you're not going to get somewhere else.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So how's the Awesome Creator Academy going for you, man?
It's going. It's doing well. It always does. Like, what is there to say about that? Again, like we have some coaching calls set up for this coming month already, and everything like that. In fact, one of the creators doing a coaching call with me, not this week, but next week, has over 1 million subscribers, is launching a new product. And it's really exciting because I mean, they're playing in a space that I really am personally like invested in emotionally and everything like that. It's someone from the Pokemon community, and like one of the biggest PokeTubers is actually a pretty good friend of mine that I actually coached back in his early days when he left his job too. So it's like it's not the same person in this case, but it's like, yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. We've got some other stuff coming up. We're making some updates to the Brand Deal Starter Kit. The Brand Deal Secrets course launches later this year. You already know the book's coming along, so yeah.
Man, you over there doing all of the things, man. All of the things.
All the things. See, this is the thing that people don't understand about the way I do things as a creator is that it's like I'm not as YouTube focused as everybody else, and I get why everyone else is YouTube focused. And YouTube focus, it's a good way to be, and it works for a lot of people, and I'm not knocking it. It's just that that's not a satisfying way to approach this for me. Is I need and like doing the other things, and I have like a background that lends itself to me doing more than just what like YouTube provides. So.
That's good. I've been talking a lot lately about doing stuff outside of YouTube and not becoming too obsessed with YouTube because that's not good for creative mental. So
there's a culture, and it's more the younger generation of encouraging being obsessed with YouTube and wanting that as an identity. And I get that, and I get where it comes from. I can't get on board with it because I'm not knocking anyone who wants to, like, I'm not knocking everyone who lives that way. I just don't think it is I think if you've pulled that lifestyle off, I understand why it means so much to you and why you're that way. If you've pulled it off, I don't know that it's healthy for other people because of how few of them are probably going to. I think it's more realistic I think you have a better chance of being successful at entrepreneurship in general, then you have a better chance of being successful on social media. Like by and large, I think social media could help with entrepreneurship. The thing is, most people on social media, they're not trying to build a business. They're not trying to build a business. They want attention.
That is true. They definitely want that attention.
That's why I took the position of like, okay, you know what? I'd rather be validated by a couple of things. Like accomplishments in terms of how much work I do, like making 1,500 videos, making 1,500 videos on my main channel. That means something to me. Getting to episode 100 of the podcast, that means that you cannot argue with those numbers, regardless of how people feel, regardless of what the subscriber count is. You cannot argue with the body of consistent work. You cannot argue against work ethic, right? It has its own inherent value just off of sheerly that, right? And it does mean you know something at that point, because it's like, how could you not have learned something in that, right? So there's that. So those things, those accomplishments from body of work mean something to me. It is nice to get things like, play buttons and trophies and all that stuff. But money also is a tool and a resource, and it's a measurement of value that other people exchanged in terms of qualifying what I do enough to back it up with something that is undeniably meaningful to them. Attention, you can argue the value of attention. You can't argue the value of dollars. So like that was my way of trying to handle it.
No, I think you've definitely gone about it the right way, man. You got, at the end of the day, you have to do things that sustain you over time as a person and sustain your lifestyle. I think being able to sustain your lifestyle, we don't really talk about that a lot, but that is pretty important, just to be able to sustain a comfortable lifestyle for you. And a lot of that has to do with the way you make money on a consistent basis. So, hey, keep doing your thing, sir. Keep doing your thing.
It's also from a lifestyle design point. It's like, if I obsessed over YouTube, I wouldn't have room in my life for the other things. And you find that people who do obsess over YouTube do not have room in their life for other things. But they also get to be the best in the world. They also get to be the best. A lot of them do. Not all of them, by the way. But a lot of them get to be the best in the world. YouTube is not the thing I say I would think I want to be best in the world at. I think that I think I'm at it. I think that there's an age limit even for that, by the way, because of how culture is and how that is. I think I can make content for the rest of my life, but it's like, but again, it wouldn't be, in my mind, YouTube's the best platform in the world for creators. So it's undeniable that I'm going to be in the platform in some way, some shape or form. But I don't know that that's regular videos. It could be podcasting becomes my future, like Rogan, like, that in my 40s and 50s, it's more that I'm using it as a medium for podcasting. I'm definitely going to write books, and I'm writing the first book now. Like, it's like I got 20 more books in me. I got 10, 20 more books in me. So like, that's a part of the career and the thing, I'll at some point probably build a talent stable where it's like not just me coaching and teaching people, but I might move into who knows, in a decade, I might literally move into the management side and just literally building programs and building out a full media company. And YouTube's one of the platforms we obviously would build in because of the monetization. So.
Yep. I know whatever you do, you will have a well thought out plan and you will execute and you will get it done. Yeah.
We got some comments here and everything. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Viper. You didn't have to.
You were very welcome.
But yeah, Adrian says, Canva is really good. I bought Affinity. That's a good way to do it affordably and get lost in how much you can do with it. Yeah, you can do a lot. Yeah. Between both of those, you can do a lot. I am a Photoshop guy because I'm an Adobe guy because I have been since my career before YouTube.
Yeah, I use Affinity for my thumbnails. I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Nobodies says Moon Knight is awesome. I'll be finding out for myself soon. John Lewis says, hey guys, 14 months, no progress. Sunday, a big channel shows me love. 7K views on one video, 100K impressions because I built a playlist of hood content so far, 444 subs since Sunday. Nice. Good for you, John. Like usually with 7K views, it would turn into a bit more than 444 subs. And that's not a knocker. That's not this. It's just pointing out that shout outs and support from big channels. And again, I realize that as a small YouTuber, like 400 is like, hey, 400 is a lot. And it is. It's that like, if you had gotten those 7,000 views without the shout out from the bigger YouTuber, you'd have more subs off of that because they would be your audience instead of a shared audience in that way. And again, get them how you can get them. I'm just saying that like understand, and I don't want people to get twisted that you need the big YouTubers or that's the only way. It's like a lot of people, they just grind. Marquez, he made 100 videos. He didn't even get 1,000 subscribers out of it. He got 100 subscribers out of it. He got 78 subscribers. a part of my video today. Mr. Beast, he did 100 videos, got like 740 subscribers. PewDiePie, he did 100 videos, got 2,500 subscribers. These are the biggest people in YouTube. These three are the biggest people in YouTube, tens of millions of subs and stuff like that. And they got nothing out of their first 100 videos. So like, I'm trying to tell people that like, if 100 videos cannot be discouraging you, the most talented creators that have ever existed got nothing doing 100. You got a couple of flukes where that someone did 12 videos and it worked out. Like, that's not how it works most of the time. Everyone wants to look at the 0.01% of YouTubers and how things work out for them. They don't have any clue how the 99% or the bottom of the top 10% or how like what that creator journey looks like. I got probably more out of my first 100 videos than all those people, and they're bigger than me now. But if you looked at year 1, 2, or 3 of our career timelines and everything like that, I probably got further in the first 2 years of my career than most of the biggest YouTubers did. And that's not me bragging. That's me pointing out that do not judge the game off of the second inning. Do not call the game 2 innings in.
Woo, wow.
You got to call the game in the first quarter? My God.
That's the other thing. People don't understand that, you know, outside of the people that go viral or they get lucky somehow and blow up, there are no shortcuts, man. You can't cheat the grind. You got to put in the work. If you're going to grow your channel, you got to put out content on a consistent basis, and it has to be quality content. More quantity and quality in the early upcoming days, but you got to put it out there. You're not going to go viral. You're not going to blow up. Most people are not going to go viral. Most people are not going to blow up. It comes down to you putting in the work. If you put in the work, you will grow. If you don't do the work, you're not going to grow.
Yeah. Nard Villain has a comment here. How do you find the balance between keeping your lifestyle balance between creating content and having a normal life? I don't have a normal life.
Yeah, what do you call a normal life?
I don't have a normal life. I've never really had a normal life. I've never had a normal life.
What is a normal life? I don't know what that is.
I never have a normal life. I've never had that normal life and everything like that. I don't have a normal life. I was an introvert and a nerd in school and everything like that. I had a handful of friends and everything like that. And now that I'm an adult and everything like that, it's like I have friends and I have colleagues and stuff like that. And I have a couple of homies, but it's like, but I don't have any kind of social life. And we had 2 years of COVID. What freaking social life and everything like that? COVID killed whatever social life I did have. It's like, and I moved across state lines 5 years ago from North Carolina to Georgia. So I left all the people I grew up with. I left all that behind. So I had to start over. And then my landlord wanted to sell the house that I moved into when I first moved to Atlanta. So then I had to move to the other side of town. So any little bit of something I had started, I had to start all over again because now I was on the other side of town. And then a year into getting settled after all that upheaval and then traveling all the time and building back with my business. You know what happened a year after I got settled and like, oh, okay, I could start doing something. You know what happened? Freaking pandemic happened and we're on lockdown for 2 years. So like, I don't have no ordinary life. I don't have no social life.
All right. So to answer the question a little bit better or give you better context, it basically comes down to time management. You got to figure out what's going on in your life on a daily basis. And then you got to prioritize time that you can spend maybe doing content and making YouTube videos.
Yeah.
The thing that gets on my nerves,
I don't spend all day making videos though. I was like, but I don't do the stuff that normal people do with their time though.
But the thing that irks me is people that make excuses about how they got work or they got school or they got families. I'm sorry. There are tons of people that have those same obstacles and they still find a way to make content on a consistent basis. So I don't want to hear any excuses. Basically, at the end of the day, it comes down to how much do you want it? How bad do you want it? If you want it bad enough, you'll make a way. I mean, we're human beings. Human beings prioritize what they want to prioritize. So if you want to grow on YouTube, it doesn't matter how many obstacles are in front of you. You will literally prioritize growing on YouTube and putting work out for your channel. If you don't want it that bad, then you're not. It's just that simple.
I mean, the schedule for my actual business that exists outside of YouTube, because I have Awesome Creator Academy, I have a coaching business outside of YouTube. The admin work that I do for my actual business, everything I do, the marketing, everything I do that exists outside of filming and editing a YouTube video is done in the same amount of time that somebody has after they get off of their 9-to-5 job at 6 o'clock and before they go to bed at 10 or 11 o'clock. I have the same amount of time to make videos before midnight after 6 a.m. Sorry, after 6 p.m. Between 6 p.m. and midnight, I have the same time allotment as everybody works a 9-to-5 job, because what people don't realize is that YouTube is not my 9-to-5 job. Being Roberto Blake is my 9-to-5 job. And people think that's different because they're like, oh, a boss, a clock in, or whatever. It's like, but I'm an entrepreneur. And the thing is, I'm doing admin work a lot of the day. I'm doing, meetings with my team. I'm doing calls. I'm like building the back end of the courses, writing the book, doing all the other things I'm doing, managing the email list, going through the back end and doing the updates to the website. I'm doing, frankly, in my business, I'm doing the same job that I did when I worked for a company as a marketing manager 9-to-5 anyway. And actually, that was my hack, Viper. Aside from the fact that all I did was reduce the time of the actual admin work to eliminate the time that my company was wasting on busy work. And I worked self-care into 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. I worked self-care in breaks and stuff like that into that. But I basically keep the same to-do list because I do the same things for my company that I did for the company that I worked for. I literally just stole the same playbook in terms of like order of operations and said, oh, the marketing task I did when I was an employee, I'm going to treat my own business with the same respect, and I'm going to do the same protocols, and I'm going to make the protocols better. I'm going to make them more efficient. I'm going to waste less time. I ain't got these useless meetings anymore. Like, I ain't got this person leaning over my shoulder and I'm doing busy work and everything to look like I'm doing something or No, I'm just more efficient. And I added some self-care in there and that's it. And it's the self-care stuff. But it's like, I'm not really, I take Saturdays and Sundays and I do whatever I want on Saturdays and Sundays, but it's like, I don't really I'm not normal Viper, and I never was. I don't want to sit there, and I don't need to play video games for like 3 hours to feel like I'm relaxing. And I'm not really this big social butterfly either. I'm an introvert. I'm a little antisocial sometimes. Most people get on my last damn nerve. I'm like, I'm good.
Roberto said, leave me alone. I got me.
Basically.
I love it.
Like,
love it.
So, and when I'm like, well, what do you do? What do you do that's not work? Or, oh, do you hustle all the time? It's like some people like to work and some people like to see, especially like when you get to own your work instead of somebody else taking credit for your work the way I used to have it, So again, I'm building an art studio and doing the renovations in the basement. It's like, so what do I do? It's like, well, I like to do art and I don't need to post it for y'all on Instagram. I'm doing it for me, There
you go.
So I'm doing that. There's like photography stuff. I do the wildlife photography. I do my prints. I do, things like that. Going back to some of my digital art stuff too. I'm getting back into my painting roots. So there's, I do things like that. I have a massive book collection that exists outside of business books. I read. I have a wonderful neighborhood. I like going for walks by the golf course behind the house. I like doing stuff in the garden, in the yard. I like working on the house. It's like, I don't I don't know what other people do to relax, and I don't judge. It's that, but people judge me all the time on the fact that I'm not, doing the leisurely or social butterfly things or wanting to go on 2-week vacations on the beach and everything like that. If I'm not going on vacation and where I can go and I can like literally do photo shoots are my vacation. Like if I can't go to a national park or an exotic location and shoot photos, it's like I'm not really that, or as a quote unquote vacation, that's not about me going and shooting interviews and stuff like that. I'm not that interested. I'd rather go and talk to interesting people and interview them. I'd rather go and shoot interesting locations and do photo shoots. I'd rather do that.
We all have different ways of winding down and enjoying our life and taking care of ourselves. At the end of the day, you have to take care of yourself as you best see fit, basically. And whatever that means to you is what that means to you. It doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it wrong. It's just, what do you need to do as an individual to take care of you? And once you figure that out, hey, take care of yourself.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. You just got to find the thing that fits you and stuff like that. I think a lot of people try to either live a quote unquote what they think is a normal life, like to so they won't be judged, or to please their parents or something like that, or they try to fake a glamorous lifestyle that they think everybody wants and envies, only to find out they don't want or they don't like it. I'm just like, I figured out the things that I'm contented with and that make me like feel good and keep me sane. And I learned a lot about what that looks like during the pandemic. And I learned during the pandemic that it's like, oh, it doesn't take as much as people think to give me some peace of mind and to make me happy. Like, it doesn't take as much as you might think. Um, you know, I like building things. I like working on things. I like making things. I like having the ultimate workshop that lets me create whatever I want. And that's what I've always wanted my whole life, is just to be able to create whatever I want. And I have that now. The basement's coming along. It's gonna be dope. I mean, again, when I want to like wind down, I do watch like a Disney or Netflix show here or there. It's my nerd stuff, and then like I will play like a video game for like a while every now and again. But it's like I get bored with them easily too, and I'm actually pretty good at video games, so I get bored with them and I beat them and I'm done. And it's like it's not that. It's not what it was. It's not what it was. It's not a challenge anymore. I mean, and then there are those ridiculously challenging games, but then I'm just gonna get mad. I'm just gonna throw the controller and everything. That's why I haven't bought Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, Elden Ring. That's a whole other monster.
Metroid was a freaking nightmare.
I bet.
Metroid was a nightmare. So it's like I can't wait for Breath of the Wild 2 next year though. But yeah, I just you got to find your flow. And the main thing I could tell you is if you organize your life and you also think about what experiences you want to have, like just walk backwards from it's like, okay, when you're too old to do anything anymore, what are you going to be really happy you did? And what's going to like be a nice warm memory for you? It's like, well, okay, get that done. And just like really think about the lifestyle you want. Think about the lifestyle you want. It'll tell you how much money you need to make it happen. Money's a tool. Money's a tool for the freedom and the lifestyle that you want. Figure out what that is. It's like, I don't necessarily need, I mean, maybe I'll feel different when I'm 50. I doubt it. I don't need a Lamborghini. What do I need a Lamborghini for? Again, I might feel different when I'm 50 because, I mean, I might just go crazy like Jeff Bezos and just like be like, you know what, I'm going to live my best life now and, buy things. Or like maybe I'll feel that way. I don't know. But right now, I don't feel that way. I hate driving as it is. Like because of Atlanta traffic, please. I hate driving. What do I want with that? I wouldn't mind having a Vespa, though. I wouldn't mind having a Vespa, a little scooter. Actually, that'd be dope.
Roberto, you don't want the Lambo?
Not really. Not really.
I can't imagine you in a Lambo. I can't see it.
I mean, I could have one, but it's like, I mean, to be honest, cars wise, I'd rather have, just because, again, I grew up on Transformers. Give me that black and yellow Bumblebee Camaro. Ooh. And I'm not even super into cars like that, and it's less about having that flashy, fast sports car for the sake of it. And but it is about I have the car from Transformers that's Bumblebee. And I grew up with Bumblebee when I was a kid as a Transformer. And so it's like that would be for the novelty of that. And so it's less about having this muscle car Camaro thing. It's more about I have Bumblebee.
You're right.
So even then, and I would put the Autobots decal on that thing real damn quick, like full nerd out. Yeah.
Got to.
So yeah, I would do if it's like, if money just fell into my lap and I was going to do something frivolous. Yeah, that's what I would do. Probably.
Nice. Nice.
So, but it's like, I don't really care about that stuff. And it's not to sound humble and not superficial and everything like that. It's that I've bought the camera stuff that I mostly want and everything like that. And then just upgrades from here of new camera buys. Cause I have like all the Sony lenses. There's only 2 I don't own. So it's like, if I got money, I'd buy those other 2 really expensive lenses to own them. Obviously I'd do reviews for them. Maybe I'd buy some more art stuff. Right now I'm buying all the art stuff I couldn't afford when I was a broke college kid.
There you go.
So it's just, I mean, and for me, for lifestyle wise, those are my things. It's like, oh, can I make whatever I want? Do I have the tools to make whatever I want? Hey, do I have all the power tools for the home improvement stuff when I want to do it myself instead of hiring it out? Which is, I can hire it out sometimes. I just like to work with my hands, though. Do I have my woodworking stuff? Do I have my stuff for the garden? You know, so it's really just about thinking about what lifestyle you want to live and knowing what makes you happy or what you like spending time or what calms you down. That tells you what you want to do and what you want to spend money on and what matters to you. Eating healthy, doing stuff. I've got some workout stuff upstairs too. Like I've got my exercise bike, I got my exercise ball, I got my weights. So it's like, so you find things that work for you. You prioritize that and you don't worry about how other people feel about it. You don't worry about how it looks to other people. You don't worry about showing up. That's part of why even with my Instagram stuff, it's about, this is how my life looks. And it's like, it's cool, but it's me, but it's not a lot of the fancy things you see people doing. And it's not a lot of the name brand stuff you see people doing, because I don't care about that.
Yeah, you do what makes you happy.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yep. But I think that's a good place to leave it, man.
Yep. I think we dropped enough fire tonight for sure.
No, it sounds that way. But anyway, we will catch you all again sometime here. I'm going to be doing more podcasts. Viper, you're always welcome back whenever you want. And don't forget that you can check out Viper and you can check out Friday Night Vipe. What time are you going live tomorrow?
7:30 Eastern.
7:30 Eastern. Okay, yeah. So definitely check out Friday Night Vibe, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And if you guys are fans of Clubhouse, don't forget to try and drop by Monday through Fridays for Coffee Talk. But other than that, we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you for tuning into the live experience and stay awesome. See you next time.
Peace.